In light of spooky season, I felt like telling y'all a spooky story while I do my makeup, which is a little different from my typical content, so let me know if y'all like this kind of video down below, and maybe I'll make it a regular thing. While scrolling through the paranormal encounters thread on Reddit, I came across a comment written by someone under the name Wait Hear Me Out, and they wrote, "This is one my grandmother told. She grew up on a farm near the US-Canadian border. In the attic was a tall freestanding wardrobe. The thing was only about 2 feet wide and 7 feet tall. She and her siblings were forbidden from going near it, so of course they all did. The thing is, they could never get the door to open. There was no lock, just a simple handle. Still, it wouldn't even budge. Time passed and the oldest boy, we'll call him Shane, got big and strong. Everyone else had moved on but him. He needed to know what the big mystery was. So one day, he dragged it out of the attic and a few yards from the house. He grabbed several tools and began prying at the door. His parents tried to stop him, but he refused. They were older and frailer now. They were distraught but helpless to stop him. To everyone's amazement, nothing could open this box. He threw his tools down and demanded to know what was in it. But as he bellowed his demand at the cowering parents, the door slowly opened on its own. It was an angle only he could see. All stood in silence, a full spectrum of expressions on their faces. Fear, curiosity, anger, and numbness. But Shane's expression was the most outstanding. He stared wide-eyed into the closet. Tears of abject terror flowed from his eyes. He soiled himself back and front. Sweat soaked his work shirt within minutes. Then the door slammed shut on its own. Shane stood frozen for a few minutes before snapping out of his stupor and running to the shed. He came back with a full can of gasoline used for the trucks and poured it over the wardrobe. Not satisfied, he ran into the house and got lighter fluid for a Zippo and emptied the can over it. Everyone backed up as he took his prized lighter, flicked open the flame, and tossed it into the box. It should have exploded. It didn't. A small fire formed around the lighter, then climbed all over the box like blind worms exploring a recent roadkill. Then the fire began in earnest. The wood seemed untouched below the flame, but smoke began to pour out from the edges. The sides turned a glowing red as if the fire was coming from inside. Then suddenly it was engulfed, the box no longer visible. The flames seemed almost angry, as if they hated the box and had been dreaming of this day. It burned all night and into the morning. It burned much longer than it should have. Shane stood watch throughout, ignoring offers of food or water from the family, and when it was out, not even ashes remained, only scorched soil. Shane gathered the remnant up into a wheelbarrow and dumped it into their Ford. He drove away with it. He returned several days later without the wheelbarrow. The truck had been scrubbed clean, and Shane never spoke of what he saw. Nor did his parents offer anything useful. Shane took to drinking. He ultimately developed frostbite on his hands and feet. And they tried to amputate, but his body was so ravaged by alcohol that he didn't survive the surgery. My grandma swore the story was totally true. She only told it twice. She cried every time. I still wonder what was in that box. This story absolutely captivated me, so I would love to read any thoughts you might have down below, and if you have any scary or spooky stories of your own that you'd like to share or have me share, please leave a comment down below, and thank you so much for watching.